Welcome to Retired Life. Wish you were here. The podcast where we celebrate adventures, connections, and everything that comes after the 9 to 5. Each week we dive into stories and laughter with guests who inspire us to stay active, explore new passions, and embrace the joy of the next chapter. I'm Kim Lee, your host, and this is Stuart Lee, my co host. Today, we're going to get serious. We're talking about a subject that has affected 73% of U.S. adults. The Bankrate survey found that over 1 in 3 Americans face financial scam or fraud in the last year. The Federal Trade Commission received 2.6 million fraud reports from consumers in 2024, with a loss of $12.5 billion. This is y'all's money. Today, we're going to talk to Leah Pridgen from Truist Bank to uncover the tricks targeting seniors and the simple steps to protect your money. Stay tuned. This advice you can take straight to the bank. Leah is the branch manager at Panama City Beach location of Truist. She's been in the banking business for 7 years and loves every aspect of her job. One of her favorites is the positive changes she makes in someone's life. She's a native of Panama City, has a wonderful husband, and a little girl who just started kindergarten. Welcome, Leah.
Thank you, Kim. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you inviting me to be here today.
Well, we look forward to picking your brain and finding out what not to do.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to help.
Well, can you tell our listeners a little about your role at Truist and how you work with customers to keep their accounts safe?
Absolutely. Yeah, a little backstory about me. I know there was a brief bio there. I am fairly new to banking. I've only been in banking for 7 years. I started I came from college. I had a music and theater degree. So banking and financial path was definitely not in the cards for me. But someone gave me a chance. Someone said, hey, Leah, you're great with people. I think you could really be good at this. And she gave me a chance. I started as a teller here locally, working the back station, the drive-through, and within 4 years, they had given me my own branch and my own team to care for and my own clients to care for. So really grateful for that opportunity. I love my clients. I love, and like you said, every aspect of my job is important, but I love when I can assist in helping them make important financial decisions for themselves, for their families, because each decision that you make at the bank is an important one, whether it be, big or small to us. My team and I all feel strongly that we care for everyone who walks in the building, no matter what their need is. It could be a scam. It could be, debt consolidation. It could be, them wanting their children to purchase their first home. It could be someone trying to start over with their lives. So we see it all, we hear it all, and we care about everyone that walks in our building. So that's a little bit about what I like to do and why I love what I do so much.
Well, why is fraud prevention such a big concern today with seniors?
Well, because the banking world is always changing, right? Just this 7 short years I've been in banking, I've seen so much change. And, we are creatures of habit, right? We don't like change. Change is never fun, ever. So, and sometimes change can be scary. And sometimes seniors, I've noticed can be a victim of fraud a little bit easier just due to changes happening, random text messages, right, that you're not used to seeing, these new phone numbers, these online banking, apps. So much can change, and we're going into this virtual world now. Not a lot is with paper and pens and a check roster anymore. So much is changing, and I feel like when we're creatures of habit, that change can be very different. And I think that our fraudsters take advantage of that. They definitely take advantage of the fact that our seniors may not be as in tune with the world that we're in right now. So.
Have you seen the attempts at fraud increase over the last few years, or is this?
I have, absolutely. And I will say that it's always changing. There's always a different scam out there. Our scammers, once they find that they have been found out or had, they will figure out something else. I've always said that these scammers, if they would put their smarts towards something decent, a decent career, then they would be pretty well off, because
Yep.
it does take brains to come up with some of these scams. I myself have been fooled by them. So
You know what flips me out is, so like my daughter-in-law had someone mimic, I don't know what it's called, but the number of the credit union, the call comes into her and it says her credit union.
Yep.
And so she answers it. They ask her for her number of her checking account, and she gives it to him. But she said just as she finishes the number, she's like, whoa, what am I doing? But by then she had to call the bank, have everything changed.
yeah, it is scary. These fraudsters can patch their phones. They could be in a basement somewhere in the middle of a fraud ring. There could be multiple people calling, different clients is what we call them, different clients, and they will patch their phone number to make it look like a local branch number or the local Truist 800 number, for example. And I think I speak for all of the banks that you have to definitely be careful around that. I will say that if something doesn't sound right, or if it sounds funny, hang up and call your bank. Go to your bank. It's okay to hang up. It's okay to say, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this. I'm going to go talk to my banker. I'm going to go talk to Leah at the bank, or I'm going to go talk to my banker. That's important. That's important for clients to know that that's okay.
Well, that's really good advice. We've also talked earlier about the older people, seniors, if you will, feeling embarrassed about that.
Yes.
And a lot of them won't say anything because they're embarrassed about it.
Yes. That hurts my heart. It really does, because it's very real. I have more victims of fraud who are more embarrassed than they are confident to come in and talk to us about that at the bank. Everyone at the bank has been fully trained to ask certain questions to help you uncover if you are a victim of fraud or not. My advice too is to not be so defensive. Don't be defensive when your banker is asking you questions about your transaction. We're truly trying to help.
And it's not just seniors.
No.
I mean, this is across the board. My
Yes.
daughter-in-law's in her 30s.
Yeah.
So
It
don't be
happens.
embarrassed.
No.
This is everyone,
Yeah.
every age is falling for these scams.
It is. And we've always said that you should never be embarrassed about being a victim of a scam. If anything, you should act quickly, especially if you give them more information than especially if you give them too much information, I'll say. The bank is never going to ask for your full account number or your full social security number. Definitely not going to ask for your 4-digit PIN number or for your password to online banking. We don't need to know that. That's a security measure. I mean, I will tell you, our systems wouldn't even show us what your password or your PIN number is. That's a violation of your privacy. We don't need to know that to be able to pull up your profile and take care of you. And as I said before, if you ever feel uncomfortable about giving that information over the phone, I mean, if you don't know this person, the sound of their voice, the color of their carpet, it's okay to say, thank you so much for this information. I'm going to go to my bank and talk to my banker.
That's
Super good advice.
What are the top 3 scams right now?
Oh my goodness. We're seeing tech support scams. Those are big right now, saying that I work for Microsoft or I'm a McAfee employee and your computer has been breached. There's someone trying to get into your computer. They will stay on the phone with our clients for hours sometimes. And once it's a gateway for them. Once they get into your computer, if you think about it, you've got passwords saved in there, photos saved in there, a lot of personal information saved in there. Once they get into your computer, They've got all they need to take advantage of you. So that's a big one. The romance scams. These break my heart the most, especially with our retirement community and our senior community. Some are not married, some are widowed, and they're lonely. Right, that loneliness sometimes can make us fall into the trap of someone loves me, someone cares about me. It could be someone they, say that they're in Africa and they need help getting home. I love you. I'm going to come and marry you. I mean, we've heard it all, and it's not something that we would laugh at. We take that very, very seriously. That goes back to being embarrassed. We don't want you to be embarrassed that you've fallen into something like that. We want to help you get out of it. Yeah. So the romance scam is a tough one. I know you asked for 3, but there's also the you won the lottery, but you need to pay taxes first. Those are big ones. And then another one we've been seeing a lot is the toll scam. You'll get a text message with a link that you click on and say, hey, pay your toll fine here. And you think, wow, I just traveled. I just came from A to B.
I mean, that is funny how they know that you just went somewhere.
It's wild. It's wild. And I don't have the answer for that. I just know that if it's something, you can call. You can call on that. Another one, and I'll stop, but there's just so many, is you have a family member who is detained, or you have a family member who is in trouble.
In the hospital.
We need you to pay this bill, or we need you to pay to get them out. And then we'll talk about this later. I'll give you the address. And then, of course, the social media. Everyone, mostly everyone's got social media, a Facebook. You see a cool car on Marketplace, and you're like, oh, that's a great deal. That's a great deal.
Oh.
But these scammers, my own father fell into that trap. This deal he found, he sent it to me. He said, Leah, do you think someone at the bank could help us to finance this? And I kept looking at it, and I got brave, and I messaged that seller. I said, hey, can you send me the VIN number? I just want to look up values and stuff like that, right? Got my banker hat on. Mm-hmm. Why do you need that? Number one red flag.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
One of my employees who's young.
Yeah.
Bought a stolen car.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he went down to the DMV to register it, that was it.
Yep.
They were like, this is stolen. And so he loses the car, he loses his money.
Yep. A lot of the times they'll say, here's my Venmo, here's my Cash App. There's a lot of people interested in this car, so I need some cash down. Once you do it, it's gone, and then that person's gone. It's usually stock photos or photos that they steal from someone else on a vehicle that's being sold from a different site. So we see so much. There's so many different types.
That relative scam, that has hit 3
That's
people.
hit home.
Yeah. And they believed with all their heart. My mother believed that her grandson was in a Mexican jail, even though he was 15 years old. And she thought it was him on the phone. And the funny thing is his sister was in Mexico. So my mom, hearing that the words Mexico, she just got caught up in it. And it was luckily that one of my niece's boyfriends was driving her to the bank, and when he heard the words, I'm not supposed to tell his dad,
Right.
As soon as she said that, he pulls off the road and goes, what are we going to do? And she told him, he goes, no, call his dad right now. You call him, because he's going to be mad if you don't. And when she called him,
It wasn't true.
it wasn't true.
Nope.
He's like, he's right here
Yep.
in the living room. So you've got to call people. You can't ever listen to the do not call anyone, because that's the number one hint.
I've heard them say over the phone, these fraudsters, they'll keep you on the phone, especially if they feel like they've got you hooked, the bait and hook, they've got you. They'll say, oh, don't talk to your banker about that. Oh, where are you at? Oh, you don't have to talk to them about that. Yes, you do. Yes,
and
you
then
do.
they put the rush on you to hurry up and do it.
Yeah,
And
they
then you get
instill.
scared if you don't do it.
Yes, that's their number one tactic for our seniors. Is they instill that fear, and that the fear is valid. It makes you do things that you're just not thinking clearly when you're scared.
True.
Or when they involve your family or someone you love. That fear tactic, I've seen them in my office shaking. It is so. it'll break you. You know, because I've always said my heart is in what I do, and if it keeps you up at night, then that's something that we have to talk about. So that fear tactic is the most common I usually see with my seniors.
And if you're a senior, we're talking about this is your nest egg.
Mm-hmm.
This is the stuff you're supposed to live on for the rest of your life.
That's
And
right.
if someone takes all that, then you wind up living off the state or the government
Mm-hmm.
in not what you were planning.
Right.
And this is very hard for me to even think about that. Everything you save for is now somebody is sitting on some island drinking
Yeah.
a little cocktail
Mm-hmm.
with your money.
Yep.
So I just think it's so important to triple check.
That's right. You can never be too careful. Never be too careful, and never be silent about it. Don't suffer in silence. I've always said if it sounds off, it's probably off. You know, if it's too good to be true, you get a
Too
random
good to be
check in the
true.
mail
Yeah.
with strict instructions on what to do to cash it. It's too good to be true. You
Well,
know, if it's something you're not expecting.
I've had two family members. My parents got scammed selling their RV,
Wow.
and then I had another family member that got on the dating part of it. And everything she was telling me was just too crazy to believe.
I can't believe that so what do you do about this one? His father was scammed with it was what are the checks?
Like a cashier's check?
Cashier-
Was there
Yeah.
a check that came
They
through?
brought
Cashier's
a
check?
cashier's check. It was a fraudulent cashier's check.
But it looked like the real thing
And
until they went to cash it.
Yep.
and they took his RV and drove away.
I will tell you, normally it is a legitimate check. Here's what happens though. People can get crafty, right? I said earlier, they can be smart. They can be smart. They can wash the check. They can alter a check. Instead of it saying, you know, Kim, it would say, you know, Bob or something like that. They will change it. And it will look convincing. Usually they will mobile deposit it, so you can't see the change as well. The image is a little bit different. You know, we're trained to Z-scan items too. If it looks off, we pause. And our boss has always told us, no one's ever gotten fired for saying no or denying a transaction to protect our clients.
Right.
That's our biggest thing. But you do, most of the time, those checks are deposited through mobile deposit. Most of the time, let's say it's a Bank of America check, for example. Bank of America and Truist would work together to say, hey, that's not really Kim's check. That is a business in Ohio that their account number has been altered and fraudulently used. So the bank at that point works together to recuperate the funds. That's a common one we see too.
So you have positive pay?
Yes. All of our businesses, we definitely recommend positive pay. That's where you can go in before a certain time in the mornings and clear your checks that are trying to go through. You say, you know, yes, this one's good. Yes, this one's good. Oh no, I wrote this for a credit card payment. I don't know who this person is. You would then say, you know, not authorize that. And our fraud department would get involved at that point.
And this is online.
Yes.
You are going online. And the other thing is that a lot of your checks can be stolen out of the mail,
Yes.
and including at the post office by postal employees. So I'm not trying to scare you into
We've seen it. It's
being,
been seen.
but there are safeguards that we can all take, especially when you're a senior dealing with your nest egg. I mean, I'm saying don't trust too many people.
Yeah, and you know there are a lot. We talked about change, right? Change isn't fun, but online banking can be a really good tool that our clients can use no matter where they bank if online banking is offered and if you use it the right way, right?
Right.
Never share your information, but it could be a great tool. There are a lot of my clients who rely on a monthly statement every month, and a month can go by and they see these transactions. And then, you know, it's a month too late, you know, to get these transactions taken care of. So if your balance is way off or something like that, at least with online banking, you can check on that daily. Multiple times a day if you want to. You can set up mobile alerts to where every time you have a transaction that happens on your accounts, you will see that come through on your phone or your email, whichever you prefer. So that's another thing too, and we talk about the authentication process. Sometimes it's a booger to get signed in if you try too many times to
Oh,
get
yeah.
signed in.
They will freeze you.
They will do it, and try to take that with a grain of salt too. We're doing our best as a bank to protect you. If you're one letter or number off, we're not trying to be difficult, I promise. It's just we're trying to protect you. We have two-part authentication as well, to where it can also send a 6-digit code to your phone, to where if you get your sign-in information right, let's make sure this person is on the correct phone and phone number to receive this text message.
And
So,
I think I would ask for that. I don't know if this is happening with everyone, but almost all transactions I'm making now are what is it?
the two-part
Two-part.
authorization. Mm-hmm.
So I will put my password in, and then I receive a request for the code. They send the code to my phone.
Yep.
So nowadays that we're all using debit cards and no cash or checks, I go in there frequently and check. And some of my purchases, I go, what was that?
You have to. I mean, these transaction registers are almost impossible to keep up with if you use your debit card daily, like I do. I mean, I am a fiend on my debit card all the time. Random things, Netflix. You forget you had this subscription for this or that, and the banks will also, if there's a transaction that seems off, like Walmart in California, and most of your transactions are here in Panama City,
yeah.
the bank will notify you.
For a while, Walmart was being used.
Yeah, Walmart,
So-
Amazon.
And it was gift cards.
Yep.
Except once I had bought new tires. So, but the bank caught it. They said, this does not look like a transaction you would make, and stopped it. And I was able to get the money refunded and change my credit card
Yeah.
or debit card. It was a debit.
I've always it's just good to pause. It's good to pause, and sometimes, yes, it can be frustrating. Oh, the bank contacted me again. Oh, the bank, my card is compromised again. I have to go through getting a new card number. Just try to understand our side of it as well. We're doing the best we can to protect you.
So a daily or weekly habit would be to go into your account and check.
Or come to the bank. We'll help you with it.
Yes.
We're going to properly identify you. If we don't know you, if we don't see you weekly, some clients we see every week, but some might be here on vacation or, something like that. That's okay. Come to the bank if you're not comfortable with online banking or talking to us over the phone. That's okay.
So how important is it to use strong passwords?
Oh, so important. So important. I would say try not to involve your name, your husband's name, a grandchild's name, birth years, last 4 of social security numbers. My goodness, as much as I've heard that, try not to get as personal. Try not to get personal. So, and I know that's difficult, and everything has different requirements for passwords. So that can get frustrating as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a book this thick.
Yeah. The magic book. Just don't lose it.
Oh, that happened to
Don't
me
let
one
that get in the
time.
wrong
He
hands.
did.
But yes.
I had everything on my phone and lost my phone.
Yeah. It's
So
scary.
do you recommend changing your password frequently?
I do. I would say every couple of months to change it. Same with your user ID, especially if we're going to ask you if you might have been a victim of a scam. If someone's like, oh, we need your user ID and password so we can check on your accounts. If they're claiming to be the bank, again, we're never going to ask for that ever. We have the information we need if we're contacting you. But I would say always change it. Always change it, especially if we ask you to, because if we ask you to, it's definitely for a reason.
So is there anything with using a public Wi-Fi to do your banking? Is there? So I see it. I'll see, is this a public Wi-Fi you're on? But
I've heard that it's a gateway. I don't know much about it. I do know that if you can, now it's different than surfing the internet or anything like that, but if you can, to avoid using those public places to access online banking or financial information, really anything personal, because someone somewhere out there
Yes.
might have access to something like that. We talked about toll roads, somehow our smartphones know where we are or what we're even interested in. They can read our brains, right?
Yes.
I might have been thinking something, but somehow my phone knows what
That
I
I've
was
gone on
thinking
a
an hour
trip.
ago. Yeah. So you could have been logged into Wi-Fi, at a McDonald's on your road trip on, I-10 or however, and something could have been compromised. It could have been something as simple as that. And the debit card you used at that McDonald's. Gas as well. Gas stations are notorious. Try not to, they say to wiggle, the place where you insert your card at gas pumps. If it moves even slightly, do not put your card in there.
The actual
They
machine.
put scanners and
I have been
readers in
doing
those.
that, trying to pull on it. I
It's
wonder
smart.
sometimes if they think I'm crazy, but I'm standing out because I know they have
No,
cameras.
you're just cautious. Yeah, you're just cautious.
Do you see that they're steadily changing, updating security for debit cards?
I would say so. They have the tap to pays, and a lot of them, they got the chips and stuff now. But I would say that the banks are really getting with it on fraud prevention and fraud control. Those annoying little text messages or calls that you get, if we got to shut a card down, like I said before, it's definitely for a reason that our fraud department might be calling. So at the end of the day, it's just to protect our clients.
So, do you have any advice on how families can work together and not overstep? Because nobody wants someone telling them what they can do with their money. But at the same time, it's like, how can they work together to help protect the finances of their family members?
You definitely want someone aware. You want someone aware, someone that you trust, someone, whether it be a power of attorney, or it be, a family member that you know well and trust, to be, of course, cautious about your accounts, and someone that you feel open to speak with if something doesn't feel right or look right, because that person who is, I would say, outside of the situation, might be more apt to have a better conversation with a banker, more open to talk to them about it. Now, if you go to the bank and someone's not on the account, then we obviously can't speak to them, but you definitely want to have someone in your corner that you know well to help you protect your funds. Not to be nosy, but to protect your funds.
So let's go over real quick. What are some of the things that we can just kind of recap that you need to do?
You need to act fast. Act fast. If you see it, say it. Definitely, if you feel that you need to go to the bank, come and see us. Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Don't feel embarrassed. We see it way more often than we want to, and we're well trained to have those conversations with our clients. And I would say that, if something gets bad, to where you might have to file a police report, something like that, the bank can help you and guide you through that decision. But to make sure you keep all of that information together as well. Save emails, phone numbers if you're getting, bombarded with calls or text or emails. Save all that information so that we can communicate that to our fraud department to hopefully stop these scammers. And just my biggest thing is just don't be embarrassed. Just come talk to us. We're on your side. We're not judging. We're on your side.
And if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably not true.
That's my big one. I say it all the time. If it's too good to be true, then it is.
And do not give your number, anything out over the phone, that is the biggest thing.
And you can, you don't have to be rude. You can say, hey, thank you for this information.
I
I'm
am
going to hang up
calling
and
my
I'm going to
bank."
call my bank. Or I'm going to go see my banker. So
That's perfect. So thank you for joining us for this really important message, I think, today.
And that information is very valuable.
absolutely. And thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Before we wrap up today, I'd like to give you a thank you gift for coming on our program.
Thank
It's
you.
our very sweet beach bag
Love it. Thank you so much.
and a koozie
Awesome.
with a little sticker. You can put it on your golf cart or refrigerator.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. I appreciate your time.
And don't forget to check out our Retired Life merchandise because you too can have one of these bags. From coffee mugs to beach totes, all designed to bring a smile to your retired life. Every purchase helps us keep bringing these messages to you and having these conversations. You can find it all at retiredlifewywh.com and look below to subscribe. Thank you.